Hi, it's 5:21 right now. I just got woken up from a very bad nightmare that has been recurring for around a week and a half. And it's all about the same thing. The dream has always been about desperate for a connection or desperate to meet up with someone and just hang out for like 3 hours. I was so desperate in a dream that I remember talking to this bus driver for like 20 minutes. And I remember in the dreams I was looking for people. Like I'll have Instagram open and in my hand, and I will be speed walking in the mall because I saw like a post of them saying that, oh, I'm gonna be in this mall today at like XYZ time. I forgot which time exactly it was, but it felt so real. And it felt so real because it's a reflection of what I've been neglecting all in my life and those emotions that I have been suppressing, which I'm not fully aware of, finally has a chance to express itself in my dreams. That's how dreams work in a nutshell. There's an entire psychological studies behind the mechanism of dreams and how they form. But this is not about that. I can make that video in another day, but the point is that I'm so caught up with the grind, and I've been obsessed with the grind alone for the last 5 years, that I have neglected so much of my needs. And I'm gonna tell you guys how to avoid that. So for the last 5 years, I've worked at my family business for 20,000 hours throughout the last 5 years. So every day, 10 hours after school, 7 days a week, no holidays. There's like 54 weeks in a year, and I work probably like 53, 52 weeks out of the 54. I only miss like 3 days from work for an entire year. So 360 plus days a year. I have to go there when I'm sick as well. The only reason why I got off is because of vacation, which only happens like 3 days out of a year. And I didn't have a vacation for 2 years already, so been on a workaholic streak for around like 600, 800 days. I lost count. And I also excelled very academically. I graduated high school early. I did cancer research. I did, a lot of volunteering and so-called pre-med stuff, which is totally fine. It's not a problem in and of itself. The problem is that I'm so obsessed with this, and I was doing it alone, like literally. My social life is non-existent. Literally, because every single day after school, I come to the business and then I work until midnight. And then I don't have lunch at school because for the last 2 years, I have period 5 lunch. So we have 5 periods in a day. You will have class in 4, and then you will have a lunch in 1, and it's going to either from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had it on the 5th. And what that basically means is that my last period is my lunch, and then I get to go wherever, right? And the cafeteria is closed. Like literally, lights shut off, doors locked, you're not allowed to go in. So I'm basically don't have a lunch. Like I just go to school to attend class and then I leave. Like there's no socialization at all. And that aside, there's also an additional layer where back then I was tying my self-worth to my achievements so much to the point where I neglected how important your character is when it comes to your social life and attracting people. Not romantically, but just like attract people to be friends with. Like for the longest time, I grew up thinking that, hey, if I were more successful, if I were more rich, if I'm more smart, if I win more awards, if I'm first place in this badminton tournament, I would get more clout, I would get more peer approval, I would get more social life, I guess. And that eventually manifests itself into being fucking desperate for a tiny ounce of attention. It's an addiction that I had for a while, being addicted to having attention shining on me. I would literally spend, I think I've probably spent around $1,000 just buying food for people, which is insane, by the way. And things like that, and being so desperate for attention because I have this conditional love that has been planted into my brain. That makes me very desperate and very vulnerable to being taken advantage of by people who notice this and be like, hey, if I just feed this guy with like a little tiny, teeny, tiny bit amount of attention, he's gonna do whatever to maintain that teeny tiny bit of attention. So I kind of fell for that for 4 years. For 4 years. For 4 years, I thought that I was the nicest guy there is because I am a high achiever and I please people. I'm a people pleaser. And I completely lack self-respect for 4 years. And on top of that, because I'm so focused on my achievement, I stopped thinking about the way I behave as a person. Like, basic respect. Do I know when to stop trolling? Do I know basic social skills on how to not be a dick and actually be a nice person? In terms of like being a good friend or just being a good ass human being. Like, I would literally do the most stupid shit just because I thought that would get me clout and attention. That is the single stupidest mistake of my life, and I've been doing it for like ever since I was born until a year ago. I was doing stupid shit for the sake of attention. I was doing shit that is disrespectful, mean, cause a lot of harm. It doesn't have to be a lot of harm, it causes harm. And I'm so disappointed by my past self. But there's nothing I can do to change unless I have a time machine or whatever, right? I forgive that kid from a year ago. And the thing that causes this shift is feeling so empty. Like circling back to my self-worth being tied to achievements. Like, for the longest time I thought achieving will bring me more joy because I would have more attention. But after I achieved a lot and I reached to a point where I'm like, hey, you know what? I actually did kind of something. I actually have a lot of achievements that I feel like I did something. And then I'm like, now what? This is not what I expected. Graduating early and doing APs and doing cancer research and doing volunteering and all these amazing stuff, achievement-wise, did not bring me anything. And I began to do so much self-reflection. I used to blame it on my looks. I used to blame it on the fact that I have a shit schedule. I used to blame it on the fact that I switched schools, and every single semester, because I'm fast tracking, I'm with like a new cohort of people. I blamed it on so much stuff. But eventually, after like 5 or 6 months of self-reflection on every single day, in my head thinking about why am I lonely? Or why am I not normal? Or like satisfied by my achievements? And I watched a lot of like psychology videos from Dr. K. Go check out his podcast. It's fucking amazing. it changed my life, quite literally. And it came to the conclusion that, yes, part of it is because I physically don't have the time and, ability, time or place for me to build rapport with people. But more importantly, it's because I'm a dick, okay? It's because I'm an asshole, okay? I treated people like I was a dickhead. That's basically it in a nutshell. Like, it all circulates back to me. Like, the point of self-reflection is to think, what the fuck am I not aware of as a person? Like, as a human being, I am living, I'm looking at something. But then there's things behind us in the blind spots that we just don't think about. And then through that 6 month of self-reflection, I'm like, oh my god, I've been completely neglecting on how to not behave like an asshole and a dick. And have some basic human decency when it comes to, like, not fat shaming my friends or reading social cues. Like, all these things sound so freaking obvious. And especially because I'm younger, like, I graduated at 16, while a lot of people graduated at like 18. So there's like a literal 2 year age gap. So the effects are even more amplified because people are more mature. They're like, hey, I know how to act as a human being, or like, I got a lot of things figured out. But then I'm over here like dilly-dallying, like, I'm still a kid, just because I'm younger, right? But you can blame that all you want, but that is not productive. I can blame. See how fast you can accidentally fall in that cycle and not be conscious about it if you're not careful, right? So it all comes down to, you can blame all you want, you can do all these other things, but to be productive, you gotta think about, what the hell am I doing wrong? Because the problem is within, right? A lot of the times, it's very easy to blame people, but at the end of the day, it's your problem. So I took the accountability. I started to change. If Jamie or Ishwar, you're watching this, you probably know, like, these two people. Shout out to them. Shout out to Jamie and Ishwar. They were there when I was very emotionally immature and just a shit human being. And they have seen that change so drastically to the point where they think that I'm doing this for external validation. Because the change is that drastic. Because I'm like, you know what? Enough is enough. Like, I've been doing this for the last 5 years. And every single day I've been thinking about, why the hell is this not getting better, despite me doing things that I thought it's going to make it better, which is achieving more. And then one day, eventually, that realization kicked in, and then I've been I've been bothered by this problem for so long, to the point where I'm like, you know what, this is enough. Like, I've tried and tried and tried, and then finally it clicked. Like, one day it's like, I finally know the solution, which is to fix myself. Like, literally pick up social cues, start thinking about how people would think. I started picking up empathy, because growing up as an only child, again, look, see, I'm blaming stuff again instead of taking accountability. See you guys probably know already. Like, you guys literally observed me automatically blaming people or blaming the circumstance for my problem, when in reality the core of the issue is me. It's my mind. It's within. So yeah, I've been caught up with that for so long. Finally fixed it, and still fixing it, because you're never perfect, on how to be a decent fucking human being. And I'm so glad I made this change before university, because for the longest time, the reason why I dreamed about craving attention is because I'm about to go into university, right? Orientation week is a month and a half away. And I was like, when I meet new people, how do I get them to interact with my authentic self rather than the version of Dennis that's like achievement based? Like, oh, I'm only hanging out with you because I think you're smart and I think you're high achieving and I think you're cool as fuck. But I want to strip that ego. Like, ego is the part that comes after anything that comes after I am dot 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 is your ego. I just want to get rid of that. And I just want people to be like, hey, let's be friends with this guy because he is nice. Because he is him. He is himself. And I don't know exactly how to do that. And me saying that is because I don't have a formulated answer. But there is no formulated answer. There is no step-by-step algorithm of like how to interact with people. Do you know what I mean? This is so weird to think about. Like, it's very weird to think that, oh, there's rules or like a set methods. Like, if you just follow step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you'll get along with people. No, it doesn't. No, it fucking doesn't. It doesn't work like that. So, yeah, this video is just talking about how I neglected myself for so long because I'm so caught up with chasing the wrong thing, which is achievements alone. Achievement is not a wrong thing to pursue, but you get blinded by achievements because people validate them. And when you do something and people validate you, and then you think that they're validating you as a person, you are blinded from the fact that you might not be the nicest human being. Like, that achievement overshadows your flaws until your flaws start to accumulate in the background, and then slowly that accumulates to a point where people cannot bear it anymore, or until that problem in the background has accumulated so much that it starts to overflow and it affects your life. Your achievement no longer overshadows your flaws that are accumulating because your flaws have accumulated too much for too long. So please take this video as a message to really start thinking about what your blind spots are. Talk to a friend, watch psychology videos, do a lot of self-reflection, just spending time with yourself. A lot of 3 a.m. thoughts. Those will actually help you. And it took me 6 months. And that is already very fast because I'm actually super invested and working hard to figuring out where that blind spot is. But, it's going to take so long. So don't give up because you don't see a result immediately or within like a week. It takes months and years. And a lot of people, I think on average, people figure this out by 25, or is it 30? I forgot the exact numbers, but the point of it is that it takes time. So please don't let your achievements, or please don't let any aspect of your life overshadow anything. It happens. That's just the nature of things. But please take your time every once in a while to reflect on yourself, right? Like, look for flaws is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, just some quick life updates. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I really hope this video helps you. Peace.